My father was born in 1940. When he was born, plastic did not exist yet. It was literally nowhere on planet Earth. The first time he saw plastic, he was 5 years old when my granny went to the local store to get the first plastic glass they ever owned. My dad is now 85 years old and plastic is absolutely everywhere. And it's completely changed the world we live in. That's fascinating to me because in just one lifetime, something appeared that completely reshaped the way we live. Plastic created wonderful things. It made things cheaper, faster, more efficient. It had incredible innovation in medicine, transportation, goods, all sorts of things. But it also created a lot of problems that we're still dealing with today. And it makes me wonder if something as small as plastic could change a society so much in one lifetime. What are the things that are emerging today that are going to have the same effect? What is the plastic of today? What is that thing that 80 or 85 years from now, we are going to look back on and say, wow, that changed everything? And the pace of change is accelerating. Electricity changed our world. The internet changed our world. Smartphones changed our world. And now we're entering the age of AI. And whether you like it or not, AI is already reshaping the world. We do a lot of things. It's reshaping how we work, how we study, how we create, how we make decisions. And I don't think many of us stop to think about what this is going to look like long term. We tend to think of the future in short strides. But if we look back just to my dad's childhood, where nobody would have thought that the world would be full of plastic today, what are the things that we need to be thinking today about how the world is going to look like in 80 or 85 years from now? What are the decisions that we need to be making now so that we don't look back in regret? Let's imagine for a second our children as grandparents. What kind of a world are they living in? What kind of systems do they use? What kind of jobs do they have? What kind of technologies or tools do they use every day? A few years ago, I had an interesting experience that made me think about this quite a bit. Back when I was doing all the betting sessions at Oracle, I had a channeling session with somebody who channeled a woman 700 years in our future, supposedly. And whether you believe in channeling or not, that's not the point. What was interesting is the way she described that future world. And one of the things I remember her saying is that they weren't politicians anymore. They were kind of influencers. And what would happen is that they would get together, a group of people. These were selected, and they would meditate on possible future timelines for humanity. They would meditate for 10 minutes and then write their findings for 15. They would do this 4 times on their own. And then collectively, they would discuss their findings and they would see where the overlaps were. And then they would put this forth to the larger community. And collectively, they would decide which timeline they wanted to move towards. Now, I thought this was really interesting because I realized that we don't do that. We never really think collectively about what it is that we want and put the intention to get there. Now, I'm not saying the future is going to look like that necessarily, but it did make me think that we almost never stop to ask ourselves, what kind of a future do we want? What ends up happening is that technology just advances. Systems change, industries shift, and then we just adapt after the fact. We don't proactively and consciously create our future. Today, we are at a moment where some of the biggest technological advances are appearing. Artificial intelligence, biotechnology, new ways of organizing economies, new ways of communicating, of creating. And so, besides what these technologies are able to do, we should be asking the question, what kind of a future, what kind of a planet do we want to create with these technologies? Because technology on its own doesn't shape the future. Humans do. the value we bring to systems, the intentions behind the tools that we create, the conversations that we're willing to have, all of that shapes where things go. When plastic first appeared, nobody asked for it to end up everywhere. It just did. Today, we are more aware. We've learned the hard lessons. And we've got the chance and the responsibility, really, to be asking, what kind of systems do we want to create? What kind of leaders are doing them? What values are behind them? What is the intention behind these tools? And maybe more importantly, what kind of a person do I want to be in the middle of all of this? The next plastic of humanity is already here, and it's already changing the way we live, work, and interact with each other. Will the world change? Of course it will. It always does. The question is, what are we heading towards? And is there something that we can prevent regretting in the future? If you're interested in how we're building the spiritual infrastructure of the future, from AI to practitioners to new kinds of communities, then subscribe to the channel and join the conversation. And if you'd like to keep exploring this series, click on one of these videos right here.